So let's go back to our conversations here today. We're talking about the Proudly South African campaign to ensure that we are all buying local goods as a way of stimulating economic growth. So earlier today, the 9th annual Buy Local Summit was launched, and even as I speak to you, it's being streamed live all across the globe. To talk to us through the program and some of the key messages that they hope to deliver is the CEO, and that's Eustace Mashimbye. Thank you, Eustace, for joining us. Let's just talk about the messaging that you are sending out here as we celebrate International Women's Day, and of course getting to grips with the new environment that is the COVID-19 pandemic has introduced into many of our workplaces.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. The message that we're putting out over the next 3 days with our 9th edition of the Buy Local Summit and Expo is to encourage those who make purchasing decisions on a daily basis, whether for their own households and for the private sector or as part of the public sector procurement spend, to look at where the products are coming from. The country of origin is quite critical in that if you buy a product that comes from outside of South Africa, you're supporting the economy of that specific country. And so what we're calling for is for those who buy to buy locally made products. And this morning we started with a session that focused on ensuring that we have an inclusive economy that is able to absorb SMMEs. And with today being International Women's Day, it's important that women-owned businesses, youth-owned businesses are able to get a share of the market that is out there for whatever products and whatever industry that their products are targeted at.
Yeah. So who is participating? Give me a sort of a range of the kind of companies that are part of this.
So alongside the summit, we have a Buy Local Expo. We have more than 100 companies that exhibiting their products virtually. Okay. And you can go into the different exhibition stands and look at the products that are being showcased there. And it's a combination of both big businesses and small businesses and cutting across different industries. And so as a buyer, irrespective of whatever industry you come from, there will be something for you. And this is not just limited to the expo. This is just a portion of the work we do on a day-to-day basis. If you're looking for a supply of any product or any consumable that you're using in your business, any component or raw material that you utilize as part of your value chain and the manufacturing of the products and services that you render, you can go into the Proudly SA site and find those products. We have even taken it a step further and created portals where you can find products that are required in the response to COVID-19, from masks to sanitizers and disinfectants, even the medical textiles and PPE, like aprons and gowns and sterile gloves. We have all of those. And so we urge everyone who wants to see this product and to be exposed to the work we do to go to buylocalsummit.co.za and register and join in the festivities. And even the sessions that we hosted this morning will still be on the site. So once you've registered, you can go on and log into those sessions so that you get a sense of what was discussed. But the expo will still run for the next 3 days.
Yeah. This year's conversation, of course, takes place after that announcement by the president about the drive to try to make sure that South Africa produces as much locally as it can in that program where he is seeking a 20% import substitution, if you like, in terms of some of the goods that we use here. Are you part of that conversation? What contribution are you making to that?
So we are the National Buy Local campaign. We're the only official Buy Local campaign in the country. And those conversations can happen outside of Proudly South Africa. We are very much part of those conversations. In fact, the approach that is being used stems from what we launched as Proudly South Africa at the Buy Local at the Job Summit, the Presidential Job Summit that was held in October 2018. We came with a strategy of identifying companies that could make local procurement commitments. And so the strategy that is being deployed as part of this import replacement drive or import substitution drive that the president announced, and we are very much part of it, is about finding alternatives. So we looked at items that come into the country, and we said, are there alternatives in the country for these top 100 items that are coming into the country by value? So look at all the non-oil products that are coming into the country, find localization champions in each of those industries so that they can help drive the process of getting everyone in those specific industries to buy local. For example, a big focus is on retailers to say, are there products that all retailers are stocking up on that are coming from outside of the country where local alternatives exist? And so we are now asking South Africans to find alternatives locally for those products so that what we will then have on South African retail shelves will be products that are made in South Africa, as opposed to buying the product without giving consideration as to where the products come from.
Yeah. Is there a distinction between South African-made products and African-made products and ex-Africa-made products in your drive to stimulate local production?
So there is a clear distinction. Products that affiliate with proudly South African products are products that are made in South Africa. And we're not just limiting it to products that are affiliated to us. But the difference is that our products go through a vetting process where we can confirm with absolute certainty that the products are indeed locally made, that they carry enough local content, that even in instances where the raw materials required to make and produce those products are imported, that the actual transformation of those raw materials into the final product happens within the borders of South Africa. And that is what we are driving as proudly South African, is a campaign to ensure that we push the buying of products made in South Africa, produced within the borders of South Africa. But obviously there's a drive now, especially with the free continental area for Africa having been identified and some of the countries having become signatories to the agreement. There is a drive to ensure that South African products find their way into the African market in order to make sure that we can reindustrialize the economy of our country. So there's a clear distinction. What we stand for is a buy local campaign based on our mandate is to promote that which is made in South Africa.
Absolutely. That drive is happening right now as I speak to you. That's the CEO of Proudly SA, Eustace Mashimbye, talking to us about the program that they are driving to help in reaching that 20% import substitution that the president spoke about.